ليلى لا ليلى لا ليلى لا لا لا. أتعلم أنا أتعلم. إحنا في المدرسة طلاب نتعلم ويا الأصحاب، نفتح للمستقبل باب، نحيي في الوطن التجديد. إحنا في المدرسة طلاب نتعلم ويا الأصحاب، نفتح للمستقبل باب، نحيي في الوطن التجديد. أتعلم أنا أتعلم حتى أفيد وأستفيد، وأعرف لما أتكلم إنه كلامي صح ومفيد. ليلى لا ليلى لا ليلى لا لا ليلى لا ليلى لا ليلى لا.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Islam Al-Bas from Ibn Khaldun Schools, and today we are going to study English World Class 5, Grade 5, Unit 12, Lesson 1, Reading. Objectives. By the end of this lesson, students are guided to follow and read the text, understand the text and answer oral questions about it, practice reading the text. Kindly open your People's Book page 120, 121. The title of our lesson today, Saving Other People. Saving Other People. Activity 1. Reading. The Great Race of Mercy. The Great Race of Mercy. Well, today we are going to study a true story of saving people. A true story of saving people. Before we read and answer the questions, look at this picture. What can you see in the picture? Great. I can see husky dogs and dog sledge and Masha, a person that drives dog sledge. Where can we see husky dogs, sledges, and mashers? Great. We can see them in the land that has ice. Look at the second picture. Where did the story happen? Great. It happened in Alaska. In Alaska. Alaska is a state in America. Is a state in America. Now look at the third picture. What can you see? Great. Also we can see husky dogs, a masher, and a dog sledge. But here we can see ice floe. Also the same thing in the fourth picture. Now let's study some vocabulary using word wall to help us read the text. Listen and repeat. Expanse. Expanse. Great. Very large area. Very large area. Ice floe. Ice floe. Great. Ice floe. Harness. Harness. Excellent. This is a harness. Harnesses. Husky. Husky. Great. This is a husky dog. Husky dog. Coast. Coast. Excellent. The land on the sea. The land on the sea. Strand. Strand. Great. The very near land of the sea. Masha. Masha. Great. The person that drives a dog sledge. Reindeer. 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 Rage. Rage. Excellent. Violent anger. Violent anger. Angry. Relay. Relay. Great. A kind of phrases. Blizzard. Blizzard. Excellent. Snowstorm. Snowstorm. Gale. Great. Strong wind. Strong wind. Bay. Bay. Excellent. Bay. Part of the sea surrounded by curved land. A bay is a part of the sea surrounded by curved land. This is a bay. Dog sledge. Dog sledge. Excellent. Dog sledge. Tangle up. Tangle up. Excellent. This cat is tangled up. Tangled up. Now, let's listen and read the texts to answer the following questions. We will start with this part. Now, to the questions. Question number 1. Where did the events of this recount or the story take place? Where did the events in this recount or the story take place? Question number 2. What happened in Noom in January 1925? What happened in Noom in January 1925? Question 3. Why did the doctor send for medicine? Why did the doctor send for medicine? Number 5. Why could the plane not take off? Why could the plane not take off? Question number 5. How could the medicine be taken to Noom? How could the medicine be taken to Noom? Now listen and find answers to these questions.
Track 17. Pupils Book, Unit 12, page 120. Reading. The Great Race of Mercy.
This is the true story of how 20 mushers and 150 dogs saved the lives of 10,000 people in the winter of 1925. Nome is a small town in the north of Alaska. In January 1925, some children in the town became ill and died. The doctor realized it was a terrible disease. It could quickly infect and kill everybody in the town. Immediately, he sent for medicine. A plane was ready to fly the medicine more than 1,000 kilometers to Nome, but the weather was too cold and it could not take off. Only a dog sledge could take the medicine, but everyone asked, can the dogs reach Nome in time?
Okay, question number 1. Where did the events in this recount take place? Where did the events in this recount take place? Great. It took place in Alaska, North America. In Alaska, North America. Question number 2. What happened in Nome in January 1925? What happened in Nome in January 1925? Great. Some students became ill and died. Some students became ill and died. Question number 3. Why did the doctor send for medicine? Why did the doctor send for medicine? Very good. Because it was a terrible disease and everyone could die. Because there was a terrible disease and everyone could die. Question number 4. Why could the plane not take off? Why could the plane not take off? Brilliant. Because the weather was too cold. Because the weather was too cold. Question number 5. How could the medicine be taken to Nome? How could the medicine be taken to Nome? Great. By dog sledge. By dog sledge. Now focus on the second paragraph. Let's read the questions. First, how many teams of dogs were in the race? How many teams of dogs were in the race? Question number 2. How long did the relay go on for? How long did the relay go on for? Let's listen.
20 teams of husky dogs and mushers ran as a relay. The first team left Nanana on the 27th of January in a gale and a snowstorm. The dogs raced through the night in minus 52 degrees centigrade. The next day, a new team carried on. The relay continued for 4 days and nights through thick snow and ice. The newspapers and radio carried the story. They called it the Great Race of Mercy. Everyone wanted the dogs to succeed.
Question number 1. How many teams of dogs were in the race? Good. 20. We have 20 teams. Question number 2. How long did the relay go on for? Excellent. 4 days and nights. 4 days and nights. Now let's move to the third paragraph. Listen and answer the questions. The questions are: when did the medicine arrive at the coast? When did the medicine arrive at the coast? Question number 2. What happened to Henry Ivanov's team? What happened to Henry Ivanov's team? Let's listen.
On the 31st of January, the medicine arrived at the coast. The quickest route to Nome was across the bay. It was a vast expanse of frozen sea, more than 50 kilometers across. Henry Ivanov set off with his team, but almost at once they ran into a reindeer and got tangled up. Just then, Leonard Sapala arrived from the north. He was the most famous and fastest musher. "I have the medicine," Ivanov shouted. Sapala took the medicine and turned back towards the north into a raging blizzard. His lead dog, was 12-year-old Togo, a raging blizzard.
Okay, question number 1. When did the medicine arrive at the coast? When did the medicine arrive at the coast? Excellent. It arrived on 31st January. It arrived on 31st January. Question number 2. What happened to Henry Ivanov's team? What happened to Henry Ivanov's team? Excellent. They ran into a reindeer and got tangled up. They ran into a reindeer and got tangled up. Now let's move to the 4th paragraph. Listen and answer these questions. Question number 1. What was the name of Sabala's lead dog? What was the name of Sabala's lead dog? How far did Togo have to jump across freezing water? How far did Togo have to jump across freezing water? Listen.
His lead dog was 12-year-old Togo. Crossing the frozen sea was the most difficult and dangerous part of the journey. The ice was breaking up. Once, the whole team was stranded on an ice floe. Togo had to jump 1.5 meters across freezing water. The harness broke, but Togo jumped into the water, took the harness in his mouth, and pulled the ice together until it was safe for the rest of the team to jump. They reached the next team on the 1st of February. The medicine was quickly carried to the last team, which was led by Balto.
Question number 1. What was the name of Sabala's lead dog? Great. Its name was Togo. Its name was Togo. Question number 2. How far did Togo have to jump across freezing water? Excellent. 1.5 meters. 1.5 meters. Let's move to the next paragraph. This paragraph. Now to the questions. Question number 1. How old was Balto? Question number 2. When did the medicine arrive at noon? When did the medicine arrive at noon? Listen and find the answers.
Balto was not usually a lead dog, and he was only 3 years old. The musher was not sure that Balto had the strength and obedience of a lead dog. Balto led his team bravely all night, and they arrived in Nome early next morning. The medicine was safely delivered. The doctor treated his patients, and no more people died.
Question number 1. How old was Balto? Great. It was 3 years old. 3 years old. Question number 2. When did the medicine arrive at noon? When did the medicine arrive at noon? Brilliant. Early the next morning, the 2nd of February. Now let's move to the last paragraph, and the questions are: question number 1. Where did Balto live eventually? Question number 2. How many dogs died on the journey? Question number 3. How old was Togo when he died? Now listen and find the answers.
Afterwards, Balto was a hero for a few months. Later, he was sold and shown around America, but he was badly looked after. Eventually, he was rescued and lived in a zoo. All the dogs who ran were heroes. 6 of them froze to death on the journey. Togo lived to the age of 16. All the husky dogs in America today are descendants of Togo and the other brave runners of 1925.
Excellent. Question number 1. Where did Balto live eventually? Great. In a zoo. Question number 2. How many dogs died on the journey? Very good. 6 dogs died. Question number 3. Question number 3. How old was Togo when he died? Great. He died at the age of 16. He died at the age of 16. Now to the workbook. Kindly open your workbook, page 112. 112. Exercise 1. Can you remember the missing words? They were all in the reading text. They were all in the reading text. Complete the words. Here we have a sentence, but every sentence has incomplete word. Okay? We have to go back to the reading text and complete the word. Number 1. The terrible disease could in space could. A word begins with in. Many people. Okay, to complete the word, we have to go back to the reading text. Look here. Terrible disease. It could infect and kill everybody in the town. So the word is infect. Okay? Infect. So the terrible disease could infect and kill everybody in the town. So the answer is infect. The terrible disease could infect many people. Number 2. The doctor sent for medicine in space. Let's complete the word. We know how to complete the word. We have to go back to the reading text and complete the word. Find the sentence and complete the word. Let's see. Yes, we have here he sent for medicine, and the word is immediately, of course. Immediately. So the answer is the doctor sent for medicine immediately. Kindly complete number 3, 4, 5, and 6 as a homework. Exercise 2. ABC. Write the words in the correct order. So we are going to order these words according to alphabetical order. I'll do the first 2 words and let you complete the rest. Let's start with A letter. Do we have a word that starts with A letter? Great, it's Alaska. So Alaska will be the first word. Alaska. Okay, let's find a word that starts with B. Great. Blizzard. So blizzard will be the second word. Kindly complete the order of the words as a homework.